this week's edition of Brown, we have an Encon, Crompton Greaves, Industrial. Yes. This is something I had been looking for quite some time. The 3 metal blade 56-inch. Wood bladed ones surface from time to time, but the metal blades, 3 blade, tend to be a bit elusive. Just a bit. So, I mean, look at that, it's yummy. Yes. The Encon Crompton Greaves were made from 1975 up until 1982. Encon was the first company to bring Indian fans to the US. The early ones had a tiered bell canopy, shorter. Later ones had a tall bell canopy as shown here. In 82, their OEM switched to Firebird because Crompton Greaves had become too expensive. So, personally, as a little kid, I went to Sesame Place. And Sesame Place had a few of these in their arcade. They had like 6 of them. Alright, white. Sesame Place opened in 1980, so that kind of sets the tone in terms of age. So, this one here I ended up going all the way to friggin' Long Island for. Because saw this, nope, had to jump on it. Had to. Because it's not often that you find 3 blade in any size. Now the Encons, the Crompton Greaves came in 3 sizes: 42-inch, 48-inch, and 56-inch. This, of course, is a 56. The metal blades came 42, 3 blades came 42, 48, 56. Wood blades came 42, 48, 56. Now you're probably wondering, wait, what about 36-inch? Well, those are special, and those are rare, and I've already covered that one. That's the Encon Princess. Apparently these were made in both 36-inch and 29-inch. I have a 36. Yeah, finding those is even less common. Well, it's even harder, especially 29. We haven't seen one of those yet. Yeah, but yeah, so this is... yeah. So anyway, let's see how it does. I have a Nutone 1.5 amp 4-speed control. So I'm going to, see how this does. With this control, the low speed is actually pretty decent. A hell of a lot better than the 5-speed choke control that these normally came with. Has a little bit of wobble. I'm sure it just has to do with, getting the blades in the proper true. But I haven't bothered with it yet. Probably wondering, oh, why did it take so long to review this? Well, shortly after getting this, everything went sideways in terms of health, so took a while to get back to that. But But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I don't know why the industrial blades... Oh, by the way, motors and blades were sold separately, just like Casablanca. So you had to buy a motor, and then you get to buy the blades. Which meant the motors came in your normal non-reversible form, both 3 and 4 blade. Alright? 4 blades had the option for a dummy switch housing for a light kit attachment. Some of them also had nipples. I have one of those. Alright. But the 3 industrial blade sets, not common. 4 wood blades were most common. Yeah, they also came reversible, but I don't think they ever came reversible in 3 blade. Those were, I think, only for the wood blade, only with the 4 blades. So, let's put it up a notch. Notchy, notchy, notch. That's a slight, and I mean very slight, cyclic flux buzz. Ever so slight. And that's because the bearings are... They're not grinding, but they are well worn. Evenly worn bearings. I mean, this fan's about over 40 years old, so I mean, that's to be expected. So this is like a medium speed, essentially. A pretty good medium speed. I'm sure I've told you, but when I was a kid, a hardware store near me had a bunch of these in 42-inch. Because again, 36-inch, no, they weren't 36, they were 42. Alright, and a couple of 48 4 metal blade, only one of which still remains. But these 56, no, not common. Not common at all. Don't know why. So now if you set it to medium high, it won't quite hit a resonant frequency, but it's close. So if I go full tilt, okay. It's not a resonant frequency, but it's not exactly... I'm not comfortable setting it to medium high because, you know, so this is full tilt. And you see just how quickly these things torque up. Crompton Greaves are very well known for that, where they just get right to speed. And yet it's moving a very good amount of air. These things are no slouch. No slouch at all. So, fun times. Eventually I will replace the bearings, although opening these things is proven to be a little bit of a challenge. Need to figure out why the top end mill doesn't want to come free. I think it has to do with a ring keeping the top bearing in place. I think it has to be unbolted somehow. Annoying. Let it coast. One of these days I'm gonna gut this place. There's so much crap to clean. As you know, Hub Marquardt was the man who brought Encon, or brought Crompton Greaves to the US. Oddly enough, my Willy Wonka-esque boss was actually personal friends with him. And he has a bunch of CGs. Tons. Dozens, in fact. Which is kind of silly. But this is what happens when you buy things on closeout. Yeah, sure, they're cheap, but will they sell? Not if they go out of favor, not if the style, not if the aesthetic falls out of favor, it won't. So yeah, the bearings are evenly worn, which means spin down time is quite something. The motor was designed for up to 56 inch, or 1400 millimeter, or 140 centimeters for those who like the metric system. A lot of the motors say, oh, they're rated for 1200 millimeters, or 120 centimeters, or 48 inches. I find that interesting because a lot of these motors were set with 56 inch blades regardless. So, I don't know. But yeah, the only ones that are 36 inch are the Princess, which used a very, very chinchilla-esque spinner motor, which was about maybe 100 millimeter by, I don't even know what, maybe 15. I mean, those things were tiny, very squat. And like I said, also very rare. They don't surface often enough. And there you have it, a brown Encon Crompton Greaves 56 inch industrial, also known as the High Breeze.